Here we go. Titans on three. 1, 2, 3. Right.
Welcome to Titans Football with Brian Callahan, presented by Seatgeek. In the BetMGM studio, I'm Mike Keith with head coach Brian Callahan, welcoming you. The Titans fall in Jacksonville 20-13 in Week 17. So, Brian, after you've had a chance to review the tape, final thoughts.
Yeah, didn't make the play or two that we needed to win the game. You know, it was a tight ball game, tough conditions early on, but gave up, you know, a couple of explosive plays on defense. That was just enough for them to take the lead, and then opportunities at the end to win the game that we didn't hit. You know, we had chances to potentially go tie the game up at the end, and again, just kind of the story of our year is just missed a play or two that allowed us to not win the game. We didn't make the play to win the game in a tight ball game. So a lot of good things that showed up. I thought, you know, offensively there was good things in the pass protection in the pass game. The run game was really working really well for us. Defensively, they were stout, they were physical, and again, it was just a couple of big plays to their best player that we gave up that was the difference in the game.
All right, let's take a look at some other topics. Callahan On is where we feature those. Tyjae Spears' first career opportunity to be the Titans' lead back, and he produced 20 carries, 95 yards. Brian, what impressed you most about Tyjae's performance in Jacksonville?
I thought he was fantastic. I thought he put the ball in the right spots. You know, he read out the runs the way they needed to be. He ran physical. He protected the ball. He had a couple explosives. Really positive performance. I was thrilled to see him get a chance to take the load and of a lead back, and that really showed up that he was capable of doing that. And I thought he had a nice job. And disappointed he got knocked out, but happy with what he put on tape.
But he showed you something for the future to let you know that if you need him to be the lead back, he can do it.
There's no question. And when you see a guy produce that way in a game where it was going to be a ground game to begin with because of the weather to start the game, and to run physical and tough was really good to see. And again, he had opportunities and he made the most of them, and he made yards after contact. He made guys miss. It was a really positive performance.
All right, after missing a game with a concussion, Luke Gifford returned as a starting linebacker, and he led the team with 8 tackles. Luke Gifford has proven himself as a special teams leader. Has his play at linebacker during the month of December been a pleasant surprise?
Yeah, I've been thrilled at the way he's played. He's really done a nice job in a reserve role that he's been a necessity. We've needed him to play and needed him to play well, and he's done that. He's answered the bell every time and has put really good performances on tape. It's good to see.
All right. Titans tape is what we have next, and I love this play that we're going to show you today. Some inspired play design and timing created a wide open receiver at the goal line. Coach breaks it down in his Titans tape next. The Titans face 3rd down and 2 at the Jacksonville 8 at the end of a long drive to begin the second half. But Tennessee wasn't thinking first down. The Titans were thinking touchdown. And the play call worked to perfection. Brian Callahan, you have to show us, how did Nick Vannett get so open?
Well, first and foremost, we're in an unbalanced set here. So you see Nick Vannett is really functioning as the tackle. Our right tackle is now over here in the tight end position. So that's the first thing. They're trying to get, you can see there's some confusion in communication on how they're going to line up to an unbalanced set. Then we're also in a 2-back set, which also gives the defense some issues. And now we motion the tight end over, Wiley motions over, right, to create this wing set with a 2-back. So there's a lot of things they have to adjust and adapt to by what the formation gives them. So you can see they're late getting lined up. They can't quite set it. They're trying to communicate who has who here. There's a lot of fingers and people pointing and talking about where these guys are all going to go.
All right, so if I'm thinking this, if I'm on defense, I'm thinking Wiley's going to get the ball, or Chig's going to get the ball,
right,
or they're going to run the ball behind this group here, or they're going to go to the other side to Nick. I'm not thinking about him.
No, and everything we've shown from this formation, he's not ever released from it in the pass pattern. So it's something that gets over time when we're in these unbalanced sets that, we run to this wing a lot, we run away from it. So there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of things that they're trying to process on what is going to happen here. And then what we end up doing is different than we've done before, is now we make this look like power. So now we're going to pull Pete, and then Chig is going to go hit the edge here, and then he's going to go to the flat. And then now you got another, Wiley's in here as well, and so Nick goes on the down block. So everything to these guys looks like run at this wing set. You can see them all react to it. All right, now Chig goes to the flat, but they're all confused. So now there's really 4 guys covering Chig.
Oh, gosh.
And a linebacker who's got his eyes in the backfield, and he's not quite sure what's happening or who he has. He feels a pulling guard. And so they're trying to figure out, what do we do here? And as Nick so subtly works this kind of run block, down block mechanics, and
he gets a good chunk of him there
Sure
to show like it's a real block.
Sure does, and Dan Brunskill does a great job. So everything feels and looks like a run to start. Chig takes 3 guys to the flat. All right, Nick Westbrook on the backside grabs the corner, and the guy that's supposed to be covering him gets his eyes caught in the backfield with all the action, and now here comes Nick. And I don't know that I've seen a tight end that wide open in a long time. There's nobody within 30 yards of him any which direction. So really worked out perfectly. The read for Mason is if the flat were to be free, he takes it. It is not free. They're all covering him. And then Nick Vanette sneaks his way out the backside of the formation for a very easy touchdown.
And so Brian Callahan's somewhere back here.
Yes.
And the worst part of that is you're like, Nick, please catch this ball, right?
Well, you can see from the back end, too, as Mason kind of snaps back, and it's wet, and it's a little bit still kind of sloppy on the field. And you can see the ball sort of gets thrown in an awkward it starts to kind of die. And I'm like, oh, my God, just hit him. He's wide open. But, Mason does a great job of just giving him a ball that's easy to catch. Doesn't overthink this one. But you can see all this action up front with the puller, the unbalance, the motion, a 2-back set, all the down blocks that we use in our gap scheme. And
you said it, Lloyd's going with Peter Skoronski there because, essentially as a linebacker, that's what you're taught is you're keying on the guard.
So you follow the puller. So he's trying to fit and scrape over the top, and really there's nobody left on the backside. Give a little credit to Justin Outen, our tight ends coach, for kind of cooking up some extra window dressing for a play that we rep a lot. We run this play a lot of different ways. It's really hard for the defense to diagnose, and we added a little bit of pulling guard action to sort of help sell it, and it worked to perfection.
Good protection, too, and there it is. Boy, it's a beautiful play.
Yeah, it's hard when you turn the screen on and there's one defender in all this field space, and it really worked out as good as you could ask for.
And John Ojukwu helping out the officials there.
Yeah, he's making sure they knew.
Making sure they were aware.
Yeah, but it was really fantastic execution all the way around.
Thanks for showing us that.
Yeah, you got it.
When Titans football with Brian Callahan, presented by SeatGeek, continues, it is our favorite SeatGeek sound from 2024. Stay tuned. As we end 2024, we like to share our favorites. Our favorite SeatGeek Sound episode occurred, ironically, when the Titans beat this week's opponent, the Texans, 32-27 on November 24th in one of the most exciting games of the season. Our outstanding crew makes you feel like you were there with us as we present our favorite SeatGeek Sound of 2024, the Tennessee Titans NRG Stadium Game Day Experience.
Today, if the 7-4 Texans are who they say they are, handling the 2-8 Tennessee Titans should not be a chore. Of course, the Titans will have something to say about that.
Divisional game, need a big one.
Could today be the day the Titans put it all together?
Come on, man, we out here in Texas, man. Come on, baby. Let's get it. NRG, what up, baby? We here.
Looking, firing deep downfield. There's Westbrook Akine. Touchdown, Titans. NWI. All he does is catch touchdown. Levis gives quick hitter Pollard up the middle. Pollard to the 5. Pollard to the end zone. Touchdown, Titans. Quick throw. Intercepted Brownlee. He did throw it right to it. Sacked! Meatloaf!
That's my first one.
Okonkwo 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown! Titans! Okonkwo, his first touch, goes for 70.
Every play for the rest of the game, do your job. You feel me? Do it with detail that we need, bro. Every play, bro, is coming down to us. You feel me? Do your job. Come on, man. Let's go.
The 28-yarder is up. He missed it! And the Titans, for the first time this year, have kept the opposition from scoring inside the 20. He stepped out of the end zone. Sacked! Safety! Final score, Tennessee 32, Houston 27.
We closers.
Tighten up! Let's go, baby.
It's fitting we call that Seatgeek Sound with all those gentlemen yelling, right?
Well, they were excited.
They were excited, and why not? All right, so that was a special Sunday. What stood out to you the most about that win over Houston in Houston?
Just the intensity the guys played with, and then the execution over the course of the game. I thought we really played well in all three phases. It was a really strong game, strong performance from the defensive line. We covered well in the secondary. We tackled well. We created explosive plays offensively. A 70-yarder to Chig was a fun one. Everything seemed to be sort of clicking that day, and I thought we played a really good brand of football.
Titans will see the Texans again on Sunday, but before we preview that, our Epic Western Genuine article is next, and it features a well-known figure from Fox Sports who will peek ahead to some important issues in 2025 for the National Football League. Stay with us for that. We feature Mike Pereira as this week's Epic Western Genuine article. Pereira was the NFL's Vice President of Officiating from 2004 through 2010, and now he serves as Fox's rules analyst and is considered one of the foremost voices anywhere when it comes to officiating and the rules of the game. I asked Mike Pereira to peer into 2025 and give us his thoughts on the biggest issues and topics when it comes to NFL officiating this coming offseason.
I think it's going to revolve around replay. I mean, I really feel that, and how much more they're going to get involved with picking up flags on the field. Look, they did a couple of things last year already. They said if roughing the passer is called for a hit to the head or neck area, if there is no contact to the head or neck area, then replay can take it off. If they throw a flag for intentional grounding because of the fact that the quarterback got out of the pocket and didn't get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, they can go back and put him in the pocket if he was indeed in the pocket. So they've made these strides, which I guess are okay, but I have a couple of issues, in regards to that. Number one, they're using a different standard to me when it comes to and this is going to be hits on defenseless players. If they said we can pick it up if there's no head contact to the head or neck area, they won't pick it up if there is any contact, even ever so slight to the head or neck area. They won't pick it up. They won't make that additional judgment as to whether it's forcible or not. And so that to me is, look, if you're going to make it reviewable, if there's not forcible contact, then take it off. If it's just a glancing blow with the hand, it's not consistent with what you want called on the field. If you look at it and say, you're going to tell the referee, okay, look, I don't want that call, that's incorrect, even though there is slight contact, then make it incorrect with replay. And then the other thing that's going to happen, I do think that in some ways it's going to open up Pandora's box, as I stated earlier, where if you let the officials know that their call is subject to being picked up, they'll have more of a tendency to call it. So let's just take face masks. So if they call a face mask and then the league says, we'll pick it up if there's absolutely no contact, then if there is the slightest of grab that you wouldn't have wanted called before, then then they wouldn't take it off. So I would hope they would get to the standard of it is or isn't a foul, period, and make that decision based on that. And I also think that if there are some that are so obviously missed, face mask, Sam Darnold, Joe Burrow, if it's so clear and so obvious and it's player safety related and the officials looking through 22 people didn't get a look, and let them put it on. Let it put them on. We're headed that direction anyways. And so lastly, to me, and this was my gift when I left in 2010, I said, make all 17 referees full-time. Make them full-time, make them report to their officiating place, maybe put it somewhere in the middle of the country like Dallas, and they go there every week during the season. They work together. They develop the same messages. They teach the same messages to their crew. They role play. They learn what to say, what the signals are. They do everything together. They participate with the head of officiating. They participate with the competition committee. 2 of them each year are assigned to the Titans, and they come to the Titans mini camps, everything. They're with them. Now, you don't let them work a Titans game. I just think that you have 120 some odd officials being taught by a very limited number of people. And to me, the referees are the most important because they teach their own crews. And so I would love to see them bite the bullet, spend the money, and get more consistent messages to all 120 officials.
Brian Callahan, you heard Mike Pereira share his thoughts on his top officiating issues for 2025. Does one of the things he say jump out to you, or do you have another issue that you think will be important in this offseason towards the 2025 rule book?
Yeah, I think what he says about making the crews full-time and full-time employees of the NFL, and that to me is the most important part. Being able to train, consistency, that's my biggest issue, is the consistency from crew to crew, what they call, how they call it. It's so also very different. And so you have to know what crew you have and what they call. I think those things will really help. And the other one, I think he's right, is that we might as well just make as many plays reviewable as possible just so we can make sure they're right. And I think that's the only thing anybody ever wants, is they want the correct call applied at the correct time. And if it's not, can we fix it? And I think that that's the right thing to do moving forward.
When replay came into the NFL, our founder, Bud Adams, had one of the overriding comments about replay. He said, if we can make it right, why wouldn't we?
He was absolutely right about that.
He was 100% right, as he was about so many things.
Yep.
For our entire conversation with Mike Pereira, join us for the OTP. You can watch the OTP on the Titans YouTube channel or TennesseeTitans.com, or subscribe to the OTP wherever you get your podcast. Only one official Titans podcast, better known as the OTP. Stay tuned. We preview the season finale with Houston next. It's time for Callahan's First Look, presented by Nissan. Texans head to Nashville with several of their best players looking to hit milestones. Houston's leading rusher, Joe Mixon, 7 yards away from his 5th 1,000-yard season. Mixon is hard to contain.
Well, he just continues to be the same guy. I remember from Cincinnati, he's really run the ball well. He's been sort of the spark plug for their offense. When he's playing well, they're playing well on offense. And I'd like to not get him 1,000 yards, but holding him under 7 will be tough.
It will be tough. Wideout Nico Collins has played in just 11 games, but he's only 32 yards short of 1,000. Collins is explosive.
Yeah, he's proven himself to be one of the premier receivers in this league, and continued to produce for him. Again, even with a limited sample size, to be that productive is pretty outstanding performance by him, and he's a really challenging player to have to go cover.
On defense, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are battling for the team lead in sacks, both in double digits. Hunter has 12, Anderson with 11.
Hopefully they have 0 on Sunday, but they're both fantastic players. I mean, Will Anderson is one of the premier young rushers in the league, and Danielle's been doing it for a while, and they're both really, really productive. They're hard to block. It makes it really challenging when they got 2 of them that can produce like that. And again, they're fantastic edge rushers, and hopefully they have 0 sacks against us.
And both play the run, too, which is scary. Callahan's First Look presented by Nissan. Titans, Texans for you from Nissan Stadium this Sunday. Our airtime on all of our Titans radio stations, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. That's for Titans Countdown. Kickoff set for 12:02 Central. Houston at Tennessee this Sunday on Titans Radio. For head coach Brian Callahan, I'm Mike Keith. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.